go.
What's up, fight fans? Welcome to another edition of Split Decision MMA, your weekly MMA podcast brought to you from SinCal Studios in the 209.
Yes, sunny California usually.
Yeah, usually.
And
not
even
today.
I'm seeing some sun even between the rain.
I
Me and you.
see what
I
you're
know.
seeing.
I know.
I don't see it.
It's Friday. I see sunshine everywhere. I see sunshine in
It's
you.
the weekend.
Everybody out there, I see sunshine in you. Yep, and you
Anyway,
and you.
this is your weekly MMA show. We talk to you and get you up to speed on everything in the world of mixed martial arts. And yeah, so interesting weekend.
I'm not sharing my speed with anybody.
Interesting week, I would say, in MMA. Of course, April 1st came around, and when April 1st comes around, there's always those stories out there.
I mean, when you think you're the stupidest people out there and people out-stupid you just go.
You get those stories out there that on April 1st, everyone's like, One of those stories we'll start off with is Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor announced his champ rosé to go alongside his proper 12 whiskey. Of course, this was an April Fool's Day joke. First of all, there's no way it could be called champ rosé if he's no longer a champ or a double champ, even for that matter. So he would just be announcing Conor McGregor rosé.
I got a lot of money, Rosé.
Got a lot of money, rosé. Yeah, that sounds good. Got a lot of money, rosé.
Or
I make tweets that I later delete, rosé.
Yeah.
We'll get to that here in a second. But
I bought a pack of printable wine labels at Office Depot kind of money. You know what I'm saying?
But there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, we had Coach Kavanaugh, that was Conor's coach, saying that the UFC 239, the trilogy, we're going to see Diaz versus Conor 3. Not happening, folks. Not happening. Of course, we had
But I really thought it was going to happen, Brandon.
Tim Kennedy announcing he's coming out of retirement.
That one
Almost got you.
almost got me.
Almost got you.
I was all America.
You got, what else did you have going? Oh, you had Carla Esparza announcing she was married.
I
or
said
engaged.
yes.
And then, nope, that's not real either. Not real. So, yeah, a lot of things going on that were not real. However, two stories that came out on April 1st that are real.
They are real?
These are true
These
stories.
are
Josh Barnett has signed with Bellator.
for sure.
For sure. Signed his contract on the Ariel Helwani show on April 1st.
Now, Josh Barnett was sidelined by USADA, right? And then
He was, yes. And then they, under arbitration, they determined that only a public reprimand was appropriate instead of a suspension.
because they messed up.
Because they messed up, even though it took 16 months of Josh Barnett sitting on the sidelines.
And these are the things that we're talking about when but Jon Jones was okay.
Yeah, I mean,
We totally trashed Barnett's career. I mean, he wasn't going anywhere.
I'm excited to see him over in Bellator in the heavyweight division. He already has some victories over Frank Mir and Roy Nelson, all these guys over in
Over the
Bellator.
Mir?
But I think it's going to be interesting, especially let's put him up against Bader. Immediate title shot. Do it. I would also like him to finally fight Fedor, since that didn't happen.
No,
we have the poster
he
here.
can't fight Fedor.
We have the poster here in our in our studio from the original time that they were booked. That was Affliction 3.
No, we need to save Fedor. Krokop's out. We don't need Fedor to be out.
And the other big story that
Where
happened
have
on...
all the good Russians gone?
Well, speaking of good Russian, well, I don't know if he is good Russian. Speaking of a heavyweight Russian, though, Ruslan Magomedov, which Ruslan Magomedov, if you didn't know what he looks like, this is what he looks like.
Yeah. Like I said, I've heard of him, and then Brandon's like, pick him out in a lineup.
Pick him out of a lineup. And
I couldn't. It was, I felt bad.
Damn it. Has received a lifetime ban from USADA for multiple violations in the UFC.
But his final violation wasn't an actual bad test.
Well, yeah. So he is currently suspended for 2 years, testing positive for Ostarine in an out-of-competition test in 2016. It ran all the way to 2018, okay? He was then tested positive for a second violation for, that is way too many fucking things.
Yeah.
That is methyltestosterone metabolite 17A, methyltestosterone androstenedione 3A, 117 B idle, as well as stanzanol metabolites 3-hydroxystanzanol uglucosamide 16B hydroxystanzanol uglucosamide. That is way too many things.
That is the Long Island iced tea of steroid shots right there. You know what I mean? And you got to shake that. You don't stir it. You shake it before you inject it.
That is crazy right there. So yeah, which all those things are anabolic agents and all the time prohibited, not just in competition, not just out of competition.
In life in general.
All the time. You're not supposed to take these.
In life in general.
And now his third violation resulted from his refusal to complete the sample collection process February 5th, 2019. He basically told them no.
Not going to do it.
Not going to give you a test sample.
Not going to do it.
So he has been now, he is the first fighter in the UFC to receive a lifetime ban. Man, pretty crazy, right?
No, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy that we're lifetime banning somebody, but then at the same time, we've got people that are writing a story allowing somebody else.
Person to have 3 violations. You got some guys, Jon Jones, George Sullivan, Ricardo Abreu.
Now, look, how many
each have 2.
How many social violations does Jon Jones have?
Yes, but we're talking in competition.
Like if you were in China,
competition things he's got. The only guys they have 2. Now, if they refuse, obviously it's a fail. If they get busted again,
what's the Netflix series? The Black what? What the
Black Mirror?
Yeah. So he would have no social credit in Black Mirror. Jon Jones would be shunned from everybody.
Shunned. He can't get a car. Remember, she gets.
But you would still see him because in China
off.
he would be huge. But anyway.
So Ruslan Magomedov is now out of the UFC. Do you think he goes anywhere else? Can he go anywhere else?
Yeah.
Where?
Russia.
Well, okay. Yeah. Sure. Daniel test there.
No, they got
M1,
tons of fights.
Go to M1.
I bet you he goes back and does like the Dagestani bare knuckle thing that they got over there.
M1, and then what's the other big one out there? KSW, the Polish one, right?
Probably. I mean, Shannon
banned for life.
I don't know. Shannon Rich is still fighting places.
True. Very true. And then the big news to come out of the week.
Not to compare the two. Shannon Rich is a great man. I'm just saying it was a point of reference. Not comparing the two. I'm not saying that Shannon Rich is a dirty fighter or anything. Just before that goes out.
There are questions on his record whether or not he has taken a fixed fight.
Right. That's I'm not making the comparison for drugs. I just want that to be out there.
Okay.
I don't want anybody to take that.
The other big news to come out of this week, Conor McGregor tweets and deletes.
Well, come on.
Tweets and deletes. That's
what Trump needs to do. Quit tweeting and leaving it out there. Just tweet and delete.
Obviously, it was screen capped. I'm not going to put the picture up here. I just have this really nice, sad picture of Conor.
Oh, it's like the sad giraffe. You cover up a little part of it. He just looks like a big old giraffe.
Conor McGregor tweeted a picture of Khabib Nurmagomedov and his wife during their wedding day. Are you going to
make him a big giraffe? Just a big old neck.
During his wedding day, obviously, Khabib Nurmagomedov is of the Muslim religion. His wife was covered completely with a veil, as she's not to be seen outside of marriage.
We couldn't see her to no veil.
Yeah. And Conor McGregor put up 2 pictures of Khabib and his wife covered in her veil and said, "Your wife is a towel, mate."
Oh, man.
Pretty bad, man. Pretty bad look for Conor McGregor. Not that he hasn't had bad looks before, but this one's pretty bad. I mean, of course, you got the fanboys that are like, "Oh, well, you know, Muslims treat women badly, so he's just saying that she shouldn't be covered."
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This isn't a human rights issue that Conor McGregor is trying to champion for. He is basically just going after Khabib Nurmagomedov because he's trying to get another fight. Now, remember, he's supposedly retired, so the UFC can't really do anything. He's not violating the UFC fighter policy. What is it?
If he's retired?
If he's retired, he's not technically working for them, right?
No, but none of this stuff that happens on social media should fall under their rule. What should fall...
they have the fighter conduct policy.
If they're...
And they have a fighter conduct policy in which Nate Diaz got busted for saying some sort of racial... What did he say? He said fag, right? He said something about some guys.
Yeah.
And they fined him and they suspended him for 6 months or something like that.
But he did it during a UFC press conference.
But still, it was on Twitter. It was when he was...
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was on Twitter.
I thought it was in an interview, but
and they've also who else was it? There've been a couple guys that they've gotten in trouble for. You know what I mean? Anyway, so the fact that I think the UFC obviously needs to do this. Khabib responded with "You're a rapist." and sent that picture of Conor feeling up that girl that's out there. He says, you're a rapist, you're a hypocrite who is not responsible for your actions. Justice will find you. Of course, Ali, Khabib's manager, went on there and
Ali Abdabzi.
Yeah, who basically said, hey, you're basically talking about a whole religion here. You need to be careful, and people will find you.
No, he said
Justice will be served.
he said Khabib could literally make you disappear. And then I put in a couple, just, and I'm trolling too. I was all, hey, I think there's a couple Irish mobsters that would do it for free, right? Mr. Slapfest.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's a lot of things that are going on here. Like I said,
where's he going to be able to run that? I mean, the U.S. is already talking about taking away his passport.
Well, yeah. So the UFC finally got wind of this. I mean, obviously, Dana White put out a small statement that said, I'm aware of the recent social media exchanges between Khabib and Conor. There is an ongoing situation that has escalated to a level that is not acceptable, and as such, we are taking the necessary steps to reach out to both athlete camps and address the situation by all parties internally. That's all he said. He hasn't said anybody's fined. He hasn't said anybody's suspended. He's not saying, that... He didn't even say that this shouldn't happen. He basically... he said, excuse me, he said it's gotten to a level that's not acceptable, but still nothing's been done, other than we're reaching out to the camps and telling them to chill out. Chill out, guys. Chill out.
So then I think it's like I'm saying, I mean, what it comes down to is in their press conferences and in their appearances, I don't think they can do anything. But on your personal social media...
I don't know. What do you think? You got the NFL, the NBA, the Major League Baseball, you got all these other organizations who are also on ESPN. Remember, UFC's now on ESPN. They're on the biggest sports network ever, who all have policies of what you can and can't say on Twitter and in public and those sort of things. They all get fined.
I'm just saying.
They all get fined, right?
I don't know.
You don't think they should do that for... I mean, I understand trash talk is part of the game. And to a point, some of it is okay and it's entertaining, it's this. But when it starts pushing religion... Don't you think? I mean, that was the whole reason, right? It's hate speech,
right?
You know what I mean? Don't you think it goes a little too far?
All right, I think it goes too far, but I don't.
But you don't think they can do anything?
I don't know yet. I don't.
Do you think they should do something?
I think I think if the parameters haven't been set yet, then it needs to be outlined. And if they do have the ability, I don't understand why something hasn't been done. If they don't do something with these two doing this, then they can't come down on anybody else for doing anything else.
I'm not saying. I think I agree, but I think, obviously, like I said, I just think it's starting to go a little too far. Like, making jokes and doing this, that, and the other, and, again, the trash talk is part of the game. I get it. But these guys, especially Conor, is taking it, I think, just a step too far when you start attacking religion and then all those kind of things.
I think it's... to me, I'm like, I just have to laugh about it because you're taking the loser...
Yeah,
talking shit to the guy who beat his ass.
Oh yeah,
and I love when people tell me, "Oh, it's about the wrestling." I was like, "Fucker, he beat his ass."
Yeah, and I mean,
he put him down with a punch.
Khabib originally put out there, that this is like an ex-wife that just won't go away. He's just bitter. He's like I can't get him to leave me alone. I can't get him to leave.
No, but he's been going after everybody. Like I told you, what I said 2 shows ago, he's got 17 fights coming up. He's called out everybody in his division. He's called out 3 boxers. I think he went and trolled the WWE people too.
Yeah.
Because it even came out that people were like,
that he's going to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and he never even was there. But he trolled those people and he got them to believe.
WrestleMania hasn't happened yet. It's coming up.
Oh, is it? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anybody out there who's mad that I don't know about WrestleMania.
Moving on from there, one guy that he always comes to defend, though, Conor McGregor's good friend, Artem.
See, now I'm glad we're going to talk about this because Paulie is paid by ESPN, right?
I don't think so anymore.
Not no more. I thought he still did something for boxing.
I don't know. Anyway, Paulie Malignaggi, who we talked about.
Malignaggi.
Malignaggi. Malignaggi.
Malignia.
Paulie
Malignaggi.
Paulie M instead of Paulie D. We got Paulie M over here. Has signed with Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation. Or excuse me, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, last week.
Right.
Obviously, we talked about Artem Lobov has signed with them.
The GOAT.
Artem Lobov will be fighting this weekend. We will get to that a little bit later in the show. However, they decided to square off and have Artem and Paulie kind of have like a showdown, a face-to-face in a gym, basically trying to hype up the fight. Obviously, they have some bad blood because Artem is Conor's training partner. Paulie had the whole thing where he went in to help train Conor to
Right.
fight Mayweather, and they had the bad blood. There was the slip, there was the step on the foot, there was the knockdown, there was all the whatever happened.
There's another 25 minutes of fighting footage
no one's
that
ever
we
released.
we don't get to see, even though it blatantly shows that Conor's the man in boxing. I mean, why wouldn't you
Show
release
up,
that?
yeah.
If you had it, why? Even at this point, you've been busted for everything else. You really can't do anything dumber. Why not just release the tape now? Because
However,
he got his ass beat.
now we had this confrontation. Paulie, in this confrontation, slaps Artem in the face because he calls him, he says he's a bitch. He slaps him in the face.
And he's lucky this time because that's just a slap.
It's just a slap.
Next time
it'll be a harder slap because that was a slap for a bitch, is what he says. Next time, I'm going to slap you like the real bitch you are. Don't get in my face and make threats. I got in your face just to promote, but don't get in my face and make threats because I will fuck you up here.
That's not a good look, Malignaggi.
Do you think, how long before this fight gets booked?
Like I said, I think they both have one fight each, and then they fight each other after that.
What if they both lose?
I think they both fight each other after
What
that.
if one of them loses?
They both fight. It doesn't matter.
doesn't
This
matter.
is like your whole.
Yeah, A plus B equals this. B
No,
equals C equals Z
yours
equals
was
this.
A plus B equals Conor fights Diaz.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Conor fights Diaz.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty interesting. You can check this out. Go up on YouTube.
It's like the Rorschach theory or something.
Yeah. I just
The
thought it was pretty
Deary's, the
funny.
209 theory.
Who do you think got the better of exchange?
Oh, Paulie.
He got to slap the goat,
Yeah,
right?
not only that, but Paulie's way better at trash talking.
I also liked the whole time, and I was pointing this out to you when we were watching the video together. You got big old Rumble Johnson, who's looking fucking huge as usual.
And a little lit, my personal opinion. A little lit.
With his World Star phone out, holding Paulie back.
Yeah. Wilt start.
I represent Bare Knuckle. I'm a representative. I don't fight here. I just hold these guys. It was pretty funny.
But if you did come to me, I will punch somebody in the
Dude,
face.
somebody's dying.
Big fist, someone's face. Bare knuckle in your face. Because that's who we work for now.
Moving on from there, we talked about this story 2 weeks ago, I think it was. This was talking about Titan FC champion.
This was because somebody said, hey, that rule you guys have been enforcing and shit, we got UFC coming, bro. They allow weed.
To a certain part.
Yeah.
Juan Puerta, their flyweight champion, obviously got pulled from his fight like 20 minutes before he was supposed to go out there.
Right.
So Florida was like, "Oh shit, we should go with the world anti-doping, standards instead of what we were doing before, which is none." By the way, UFC's coming, so we definitely need to change these things, and we don't know what to do now about Mr. Puerta. From what I've seen. And according to this article that I'm reading right now, Puerta is not going to be allowed to have it like saved. It's not going to be backdated. He's still in trouble.
Oh.
Because they hadn't done the policy yet. Even though they changed it because of him, because they've changed the policy, because of his getting pulled and the UFC coming in, they have said that his will not be, it'll be still standard punishment. They're not going to strip him, but he's going to have the standard punishment, which I think is 6 months.
Yeah, I'm going to give you, maybe next week. Maybe next week. That's when you should have fought. You should have fought next week.
Yeah.
But you fought in the wrong time.
So, I mean, at least though they're not going to strip him, they're not going to turn his fight over, even though the fight never happened, so I don't understand that. Anyway.
I mean, just that the fight didn't happen, and so he's gonna
He's suspended for 6 months.
he's gonna take his charge from then. It should go back from then, and then they'll do some weird thing. They'll probably knock off a couple more weeks off that. He'll do 3 months total.
I know the president of Titan FC is trying to get him on a deal where he will have to do community service, hopefully, and get it lessened.
And then fighting at 2 Indian casinos for your warm-up fights, that's right.
Speaking of Titan FC becomes the third organization. Third to my knowledge. If you know another one, please comment over there. Nick, I see you kind of watching, doing stuff sometimes. If anybody else, the third organization to have a uniform deal.
I don't think so. I think that Russian multiple team fight. I think they fight in uniforms.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's like you've never seen it where they had like it's like a big
It's like 4-on-4 with the big square block.
with the big square in the block in the middle. You see, you watched it. They wear uniforms.
I think it's just red team, blue team, though. I don't know if it's necessarily
All right.
the uniform.
I don't care.
Obviously, the UFC has the Reebok deal. We talked about PFL last year. having theirs where they have their PFL standard uniform, has PFL logo on it, and then you could have sponsors in other spaces. Well, Titan FC has signed a deal
Words on shirts
with Art in Motion, a sports performance apparel brand out of Miami, and they will be debuting at Titan FC 54 Friday, April 26th. Is that like 2 weeks from now, something like that?
2 weeks. Hey, Titan, put on a show here in California.
They're Florida-based, man.
Put a show on out here in California. Come give some people a shot here.
Very cool. Titan, like I said, first, do you think, okay, going back now, uniform deal. Everybody at first, Reebok fucking sucks. I can't believe the UFC is doing this.
No,
but are we cool with the way that Titan is doing this and the way the PFL is doing this where you could still get your own sponsors?
Yeah, that's
Here's
the difference.
standard, but you can still have your own sponsors.
Yeah, be like NASCAR. They're like, you can't put a sticker here, you can't put a sticker here, you can't put a sticker here.
Have it on the windshield.
Yeah, you can have it.
You can't have it on the
everywhere else. And you should be able at the end of your fight too, man. It's like, man, dang on Matt Camp, man, dang on Taco Bell, down Mountain Dew, man, down Red Bull, man. We've been really working hard, doing the best we can. I got the best guys in the backfield there, and we're doing what we can. We're number one. Shit and piss excellence all day long. We just try.
I just got to thank God.
Just give
Those
it to
God.
before God. Yeah, that's right. Thank God for Taco Bell and Red Bull and all the sponsors on my shirt.
Couple fights that are out. Yoel Romero not going to be fighting.
This is not his.
Not going to be fighting Jacare Souza. Ronaldo Jacare will not be fighting Yoel Romero.
This is not the first time Yoel Romero's
apparently out with pneumonia.
But this is not his first time being sick, right? Did we not have this like 5 years ago, I think?
I thought it was a failed weight cut.
That's sickness.
That's a sickness.
It is a sickness.
Jacare doesn't seem to be happy. We don't know if there's a replacement found yet. Again, if anybody's following along live and you haven't seen
Crocodile mad.
Yeah.
He's so mad.
What do you think?
Hey, man.
Does this bum you out?
Yeah. I mean, totally. It's a big fight I want to see. But, and I feel, I don't know how many people have pulled out against Jacare. I think it's happened quite a few times to him. So, I don't know. Get this man a fight. We need
fighters looking for fights.
What do you call those people that
Rumbler?
Rumbler? That's out there. People are on that thing. What do they call that? Underwrite, where someone
Understudy.
Yeah,
it's an alternate bout.
Yeah, just one guy in every division, just waiting. What are you guys here for? Just in case some shit breaks out.
I thought they always did that, didn't they? I mean,
would.
I mean, I know for a fact they always try to book somebody that's, if there's a title fight happening, they usually have somebody on the card that's in the same weight class,
right?
That's in relatively range of a title shot.
Yeah, but who wants to go do that against Jacare?
True. Also, Jessica Rose Clark is on the mend after she had to withdraw. She's now going to have to withdraw, same card, UFC 237, her matchup with Tatiana Bernardo. She will not be fighting on this card because she tore ligaments in her right foot.
I think Bernardo already has another fight.
During training.
Yeah, I think they already set up another fight for Bernardo. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a credible source, but...
Man, now she gets to wear a boot.
Got the boot. Das Boot.
Das Boot.
Das Boot.
Fights that are happening. Chael Sonnen is officially going to meet Mr. Lyoto Machida in Bellator.
So another guy's going to kick the shit out of Chael Sonnen.
Madison Square Garden, light heavyweight, June 14th in New York. Check out Chael. You know what's really funny? I was like, didn't they train together? Weren't they training partners? Then I was like, oh, I sound really bad right now. It was Yushin Okami.
Oh.
Yushin Okami used to train with Chael Sonnen, not Lyoto Machida.
Good going.
Way to go. Yeah.
Racially appropriating other people.
Also going down in Bellator, I'm really excited for. Bellator 16-man, 145-pound, that's featherweight, Grand Prix. Bellator's not stopping with the Grand Prix. We have the heavyweight Grand Prix. We have the welterweight Grand Prix still going on.
Right.
In October, they're starting the featherweight Grand Prix. Now, Scott Coker is saying that the tournament winner will be $1 million.
So, but what goes on with their 145-pound belt during all this?
So, just like welterweight, where we have Rory MacDonald is in the welterweight tournament.
Okay.
So, they're fighting for the tournament championship, and then allegedly, if it's not Rory MacDonald, the winner of the tournament will fight Rory MacDonald for the title.
Okay. All right.
I would assume.
So the whole time Rory's just chilling during all this?
No, he's fighting. He's in the tournament.
If he loses, he don't lose his belt?
If he loses his belt, and then the winner faces the new champion. Does that make sense to you? We're having a tournament go on with the champion in it.
Okay, but his first bracket should be the number one contender.
But it's not. It's not, and he already fought. In fact, I did a little math here. Yeah, let's see. Bellator's had 5 featherweight champions since the start of Bellator. Seasons 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, and 10, back when they did seasons, were mini tournaments, all had featured featherweight. They stopped those tournaments in 2014. 2015 was the first time without a tournament. Patricio Ferreri, the Pitbull, is the current champion. I have not seen if they're going to make him fight, but it's more than likely because they did it with Rory. But at the same time, I don't know if it's likely because he's actually moving up in weight and challenging Michael Chandler for the lightweight belt to become a champ.
Yeah, and how many people do we have that's not actual 145ers coming into this, or are these all 145ers?
It says it's supposed to be 145. They're saying 16 guys.
We don't have people moving up from 135 or coming down from 155 to be in it?
They haven't announced any names yet.
Okay.
But if you look at the 145-pound division, you got Pat Curran, former champion, Derek Campos, AJ McKee, Emmanuel Sanchez, John Teixeira, Nohai Lahat, Aaron Pico. All these guys are at 145. All these guys currently signed with Bellator. I think this is going to be an exciting tournament, man. They're also saying that it is possible
Pico's out in the first round.
That the first night, all 16 athletes will fight, and they'll have 8 fights in one night. 8 fights one night for the tournament. Just eliminate half of them.
And then that's it, though.
Yeah, then 8, 4, 2, 1. That's it.
But not that night.
No, at the beginning, not a one-night tournament. They're just saying opening round.
Okay.
We'll have all 8 fighters. You know, like Bellator, we're gonna have these 2 guys fight. They're part of the tournament. And then 2 cards later, we're gonna have these 2 guys fight. They're part of the tournament. This is gonna be all 16 guys in the first night of the tournament have to fight.
Nice.
I kind of like that. I'm excited for this tournament. I'm excited for Bellator. Bellator, man, not slowing down. Bellator likes to keep it going.
No, and again, I mean, we're only in April, people, and both ONE FC and Bellator are picking up steam.
Yeah.
And the UFC, even though we got some good fights looking forward to, we have a lot of people who are having contract problems that you're going to be hearing about in the next 6 months, mostly around July, right?
You think it's going to be around July?
I think that's, and again, I'm going off forum sources and people with foil on their head, but a lot of time these people are right. You know what I mean? These are the same people told me Liddell and fucking Tito were going to fight, and everybody was like, it's not going to happen. It wasn't the best thing, but it did happen.
Yeah, but I think most people, when you first announced it, were like, what's it going to be like in
but it happened.
UFC? Or
I know.
Like, that's not going to happen. Bellator? No, Bellator's not going to do it either.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
All right, well, let's recap some fights we had. Bellator, speaking of, Bellator was this 219. Yeah, Bellator 219 happened over the weekend. Joe Schilling defeated Keith Berry. Andrei Koreskov defeated Michael Jasper. Daniel Strauss defeated Shane Crutchton. And Brandon Gertz gets the win over Saad Awad. Again, there are no fights this weekend as far as Bellator, UFC, or ONE are concerned. Next week, we do have one fight card. We have the bare knuckle fighting, which we'll get to here in a quick moment. We'll be going down this weekend. Other than that, you get a small break of MMA. Moving on into...
Not that BKFC is small at all.
No.
But it's not MMA.
They're boxing.
Yeah.
Moving on to which is one of the most exciting cards already of this early year. ONE Championship Fighting had their new era card. A lot to go on here.
I mean, just the highlight film that I watched was almost 17 minutes because there was just so much.
Much action.
Well, not only that, but they had to tell you what was going on.
They got like 176 million viewers or something like that on the replay on TNT.
There you go.
Which was 12 hours behind.
Yeah, but like I told you, a lot of people, they DVR'd the TNT replay, and then they watched it at their own convenience, especially because people were talking about it Monday and Tuesday, and they just went back and just went to those specific fights to watch.
Yeah. So you had Yoda Sakai, Fairtex defeated Andy Sauer. Timothy Nastyukin defeated Eddie Alvarez. TKO round 1 in the lightweight Grand Prix.
Is Eddie done?
I don't know. Eddie says he wants to come back. Eddie Alvarez got his eyeball split, man.
I know that was bad, but I mean...
His eyelids, both eyelids were split. He got hit hard, and he flat out says, In this particular fight, I waited too long for an opening and paid the ultimate price. The punch hit me instantly, blinded me, and split both my eyelids in half. I felt like my eye exploded from the inside, and the pain was instant. From an outsider watching myself, I could have expected the result considering my actions. You have to punch, kick, takedown, and pressure to win a fight, and I simply waited too long for the correct timing, and the opening never came. Like I said, he will make adjustments. He says he will come back true to form.
It's going to be hard. I mean,
also, he said congrats, obviously, to Timmy and victory. He said he's deserving everything he gets.
You got to get catgut stitches on those little veins.
Oh, man, it was brutal. Demetrious Johnson win his debut for the flyweight Grand Prix, defeating Yuya Wakikumatsu in a guillotine in round 2. Bibiano Fernandez gets a disqualification win. Technically becomes the new bantamweight champion over Kevin Bellington. Illegal elbow to the back of the head. He actually got hit in the back of the head. He could not continue. They are saying they're going to run this one back. Bibiano Fernandez does not want to win that way. He goes, he does not consider it a clean win.
Right.
There wasn't anything that he did to deserve the win. It was just something that was unfortunate. I'm excited to see these guys.
Okay, the weight of the trade. Weight of the trade. Who came out on the trade?
What do you mean?
Okay, so I mean Alvarez got fucking put out. Demetrious, it was a little bit of work though.
He dominated, man.
And then we got Askren.
Yeah.
And he killed him. I mean, he choked him. So who came up in the trade?
He choked him but didn't choke him.
So who came up in the trade?
Who came up in the trade? Still too soon to be seen.
Okay, to be announced?
Yeah, to be announced. I
to
think
be
it's
decided,
a little early.
TBD?
UFC or one got the better of the trade. It's a little too early to tell.
Looking at their numbers, though, I definitely think having Eddie Alvarez and Demetrious Johnson on their card helped get more American numbers.
I would agree with that. Yeah, sure. Ong Lang Sang defeated Ken Hasegawa for the one middleweight championship. Middleweight champion. Zhang Jingyan defeated Angela Lee in round 5. Hell of a fight to continue to have the women's strawweight championship. And Shinya Aoki becomes your new champion over Edward Foyelang. Submission, arm triangle choke, round 1 to become the new lightweight champion at 1. Again, very, very cool card. Make sure you check it out on Bleacher Report Live. Also go to TNT. You can check it out. Check out the replays. As the fights continue to load up, we will continue to cover them. I'm excited for one.
Yes.
And then, of course,
I'm excited for all the MMA that we have offered to us at this point.
And of course, UFC on ESPN2, not the channel, but the number. Barbosa versus
This
Gaethje.
is the second time it was on free ESPN, which is not really free because you have to be
an ESPN member,
right,
or at least have some sort of ESPN
cable
cover.
something you have to pay for.
Happened on prelims. Alex Perez defeated Mark De La Rosa. Marion Moroz defeated Sabina Mazo. Casey Kenny defeated Ray Borg. Jumping onto the regular ESPN, Kevin Holland defeated Gerald Mirchet. Kevin Aguilar defeated Enrique Barzola. Desmond Green over Ross Pearson. Marina Rodriguez over Jessica Aguilar. Again, those are all on your prelims. And then moving on to your main card, Sodiq Youssef defeated Shaman Morales. Paul Craig defeated Kennedy Nakashihu. Michelle Watterson gets the decision win over Carolina Kowalkiewicz. How did you see that fight?
I'm taking Watterson because that's the way I saw it, but I didn't think it was as one-sided as the judges saw it.
No? You
No.
don't think it was unanimous? You think it was closer to a split?
Yeah.
What rounds would you give Kowalkiewicz?
Second?
At least second round?
Maybe. I don't know.
They're giving all the rounds. I mean, it was a good fight. I was excited for Michelle Watterson. I thought it was a good matchup.
The thing is that Kowalkiewicz is a counter kicker, counter puncher, and Watterson pushed the pace, and that's the big thing that's been going on. Yeah, apparently our audio went crazy. It didn't sound funny on my end, but who knows? We'll clean it up on the edit. Josh
Emmett over Michael Johnson, knockout round 3. Jack Hermanderson over David Brownsh makes quick work of the former World Series of Fighting champ David Branch. Got guillotined.
Remember what I told you?
49 seconds.
David Branch? I told you? David Branch.
And Justin Gaethje gets a knockout round 1, 230 over Edson Barbosa. Do you believe that there was a thumb poke that caused Barbosa to be unable to see and not see the punches coming from Justin Gaethje?
Anything's possible, man. Like Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible. Oh. Man, I mean,
Where do you see Justin Gaethje now, man?
Hey, I'm as surprised as anybody else. I had to eat crow.
I was saying Gaethje was going to win this fight. I didn't think it'd be like that, but I thought he would wear him down. Man.
Yeah, I mean,
Joe Rogan calls Justin
these guys
Gaethje
are
the most violent man
swinging
in the
blocks,
UFC,
dude.
Currently, the most violent man in the UFC.
I don't think he's the most violent.
Can take a punch, can throw a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But as much as they just go out and go for it, I mean, he's in 3 fights, he's been standing up, knocked out. You know what I mean? But they continue to fight.
That's how he always is.
I know. And maybe he's not knocked out at all. Maybe he's like that drunk uncle you got that just, the drunker he gets, the better he is.
Looking at the rankings, even though we know that the rankings don't fucking matter in the UFC and that the 14 people that vote for the rankings are worthless as is.
And I'd like to apologize to the rest of the MMA media when Brandon goes on his attacks. You guys are jerks, and you do make bad votes, but you don't need to hear...
At least 2 of you don't even work in the MMA media anymore.
You don't need to hear the mean things that Brandon says.
And Steve Young doesn't like me so much, he still has me blocked.
And that's the other thing, man. If you don't like what someone's saying, just don't answer. Don't block them.
He doesn't want to be attacked. He doesn't like that I put his name out there and I gave everyone his Twitter handle and say, hey, if you don't like the rankings, talk to this guy.
Smart, because it's not like it's going to be. It's not going to be relentless. Brandon's going to hit you with maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah,
maybe
a week.
Yeah, even that's not bad.
Anytime I see that the rankings are messed up, anytime.
Yeah.
Again, I've talked about this on the show before at length. We did a whole article on My MMA News about it. I bring it up every time I see the rankings do this weird thing that there's 14 guys out there that make the UFC rankings. The UFC rankings have not been updating who they allow to vote since 2013, maybe even before then. We don't have respected journalists on there. As many as I would like to see. We don't have guys like Eric Kowal of My MMA News. We don't have guys like Kevin Iole of Yahoo Sports. We don't have Ariel Helwani of ESPN now. We don't have John Morgan of MMA Junkie. Guys who've been around the sport for a very long time and have covered everybody being able to vote. One of the reasons I actually reached out to John Morgan, who says that his company, MMA Junkie,
who hasn't blocked us,
does not allow them to vote or be a part of the voting process because the UFC uses these rankings to negotiate contracts. So it's not fair. They consider themselves as journalists. Not fair that the journalists would have technically a financial impact on the athletes they are covering. Totally understandable. I think that John Morgan suggested this, and I would 100% agree with this. I think we suggested this a long time ago. They should aggregate, take the top websites, 10, 15, 20, even if we come up with our own website and our own ranking system, have so many, and then do an average. And where the people get ranked, that's where the average goes.
Yeah.
I think that would make sense and kind of fix what's going on because the 14 guys that are doing it now, 2 of them don't even cover MMA anymore. Half of them aren't paying attention. A lot of guys make weird decisions. Like they put in Anthony Pettis under Stephen Thompson, who he just knocked the fuck out.
Right.
Anyway, Justin Gaethje, if you look at these rankings, who would you like to see Justin Gaethje? They obviously put him at number 5 now, whether you agree with that or not. Do you see any of these fights above him? Obviously, we already know that Dustin Poirier is going to be fighting somebody from another weight class, so you can't pull him in. Conor McGregor is technically retired. Tony Ferguson is out with some
he's retired. Why is he on this list?
Tony Ferguson's on the mental health issues.
Jackasses.
Al Quinta is going to be fighting Cerrone. Who's got Justin Gaethje fight next?
Oh,
Kevin Lee? I mean, really, that's the only other person on there that's not currently doing something.
Right. Right. I don't know.
Do you think Justin Gaethje could be a champion in the UFC? Former World Series of Fighting champion.
I think he has a puncher's chance. Okay. But like I say, he hangs his head out there. He likes to take the hit. Yep. I don't know how sustainable that is. I'm not questioning the man's ability to lay somebody else out. I'm not questioning his ability to make contact. My thing is he likes to go out there and exchange punches with people. So
no argument there.
It's hard. Some of these guys who end up being gatekeepers, it's not because they're great. It's because they go in there and put their balls on the line, and they don't play chess MMA. They play let's fight until someone hits the ground MMA.
Yeah,
you know?
And we talked about this all the time. You got guys that are like this. They're always there to fuck up the division. They're always there to screw up the rankings because you got guys that are on this meteoric rise and they run into this roadblock that's not going to give up and just going to keep swinging.
Because and I think you're going to back me up on this.
They're never going to reach
Ty
the
Woodley,
top,
Ty Woodley did not maintain his belt by going out and kicking your ass. Ty Woodley maintained his belt by playing chess MMA and making you try to take the belt from him.
And Usman certainly did that.
No, right. But nobody else did. Everybody else tried to play his chess game. You know,
a little timid.
Or stared down the barrel.
Yeah. So the big fight card that we have this weekend, obviously there's no UFC, there's no ONE FC, and there is no Bellator right now. However, we do have Bare Knuckle Boxing, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. 5 going on. The headliner is the GOAT, Artem Lobov, going up against Jason Knight, former UFC fighter. Justin Baseman, as well as Chris Leben, signed to a legit Bare Knuckle Fighting organization now.
Hopefully he asked for money up front this time.
Yeah, I believe he's going to be doing all right. Chris Leben recently went on his gym's page. That's the arenagym.com. You can go to the arenagym.com/Chris Leben story. Or if you just, the way I found it was the easy way is the arenagym.com. You go over to staff, you go to Chris Leben, it has a whole bunch of links. And basically he went on and talked about the differences between Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and the other organization, which we talked about before, the one he is currently suing. And he put up a video. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Hopefully you can catch the audio on it. There we go.
A new addition. This is also what we'll soon be Skyping on.
Hopefully
if we get it all.
Let's see if we can cue this up fast. Nope, apparently not. Do we have audio? It says we have audio. We're going to try this one more time.
Play.
No sound.
How'd you get the sound last time?
I don't know.
You had to do something down there?
Might just take a second.
10%.
There we go.
Pay up front because I told him, you're a new organization. I need something.
This is him talking about
Good faith from you guys.
World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation.
But they did give it to me in a couple payments. So after the fight, it was, hey, can you hold off for, 3 or 4 days? I got to move some money around. And then that became into, hey, this other previous employee of ours reported us for laundering drugs, which I don't believe the story is true, but our bank account is frozen. So, but we're going to get a line of credit and pay you with the line of credit. Then it was, hey, the line of credit didn't work out.
Story after story.
The bank account should get unfrozen. And then, I start to hear things about the owner getting indicted for real estate fraud, And I'm talking to boss every day, and he's telling me, don't worry, the owner's a good guy. The real estate fraud stuff is not true. Then, okay, well, it's true. He's not.
It's not. He was convicted.
A little bit. I read somewhere that, he was ordered to repay $2.4 million. Again, don't know what's true and what's not true. Boss said, listen, this guy's going to pay you. Just give him till the pay-per-view money comes in. He's got this other business that apparently makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Then all of a sudden, hey, his other business isn't doing good anymore. When the pay-per-view comes in, we'll get you some money. The pay-per-view comes in, oh, surprise, sorry, Chris, the pay-per-view wasn't as good as we thought it was going to be, and I'm continuing to talk to...
Didn't you say it was under 35,000?
Every day through this, and he's telling me, listen, this guy's a good guy, he wants to pay you. Everything I'm hearing online is to the contrary, that he's got 36 months in jail for fraud. And this is, he's a crook, and this isn't the first time he's done something like this. But Boss is backing him, and I love Boss. I've known Boss for almost 18 years. Boss. I've been on his TV show several times. I feel like we have a good relationship. We have a lot of things in common, and one of the reasons I stayed in this guy's corner as long as I have was because of Boss Rutan. And the fact that he continued to reassure me that the guy means well and that he's going to...
One of the reasons you kept your head up.
I kept trying to think,
It is over almost 3.5 months since the fight. I have not seen a penny. I never badmouthed them on the internet. Boss is now telling me, hey, The guy's lawyer says he could go bankrupt, but he's not going to do that. He's going to get...
Anyway, you can check out the rest of the story. It's a pretty good-sized video. They have a bunch of videos leading up to his training for World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation. They're going to have a whole new series leading up to his fight at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. So legit bare knuckle boxing. He has signed with them now. I am excited for Chris Leben's career as a bare knuckle boxer. And maybe at some point, maybe they'll sign Phil Baroni to have a rematch. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, go over to thearenagym.com, Chris Leben's story. Check it out. He kind of goes over the whole thing and how everything kind of went down for him and his lawsuit and everything that we have going on there. So yeah, that's pretty much it this week. That's all we got. I don't know what I'm doing now.
I know.
I don't know.
You don't.
Anyway, we'll just turn it off. Moving on from there.
For the YouTube people, I'll throw something up there.
We'll throw something sort of graphic up there.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.
What fights?
Bare knuckle fighting.
Oh, bare knuckle fight. Fire up the jet. We had a great... Apparently, the audio did something wrong. Yeah. And then I said, I'll clean it up. And he's all, no cleaning that up. No, I can't clean it up, dumbass. That's why I do double indemnity. We have